Hi, welcome to SPR Videos. I'm Peter Loshak. This is our daily MLB starting pitching preview show that we do with Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Right now we're going to look at the card for Saturday, May 30th. Joe Duffy, how are things going at OffshoreInsiders.com for you right now?
Fantastic, Peter. People ask me all the time, what is your best sport? And the truth is I do well in all of them, but I will say this, the gap between me and the rest of the industry is its biggest in midsummer baseball. You either should buy picks from me or you really shouldn't be betting at all, because I work my tail off in baseball, where the rest of the industry seems to think it's a time to really tank it. Not at OffshoreInsiders.com.
All right. Well, your analysis and your insights in these shows certainly hint at that. I'm going to give you a tough one right now. We'll see what you hint at that you might do, and I wonder what the rest of the industry will do. Jared Weaver, I don't know, man, what to expect from him. He's actually had 4 good starts in a row after having way diminished velocity and being awful before that. The Angels won all 4 of those starts, 5 runs and 30 innings over his last 4 starts. Those are admirable, real, legit results. He even had a 20 strikeout to 5 walk, strikeout to walk ratio. I don't know, though. Against Detroit, that's a strong lineup. Is Jared Weaver for real over these last 4 starts, or is he going to regress big time against a big lineup here? What do you think?
Well, Jared is a good poster child for my regression to the mean, which, again, by definition, can also mean progressing. He's pitched well. We knew he wasn't as awful as he showed early in the year. He's a pitcher who's past his prime, but I would say while he's still cresting and kind of leveling off or returning to his level, it would be a good opportunity to, at the very least, go with him, or in the case of Detroit, maybe you want to pass, but I would not fade Weaver at this point. I think he's doing some catching up, and it's amazing how veteran starters like this, they always are able to crest to their level.
Even against a strong lineup, you don't want to pick your spots and wait until he's in better situations against weaker lineups. I mean, he's going to be facing some big bats here.
Right, that's what I said. It might be, if anything, a pass, right. But I definitely put one in the column of Weaver as far as being an undervalued pitcher, but whether or not this is the absolute best situation for him, probably going to have to look a lot closer at the offensive metrics.
All right, and then Tim Lincecum is going to be at home, and he appears to be developing some pretty stark home-road splits, right? Very vulnerable on the road, much better at home. Here he's going to be at home against Atlanta, not a terribly formidable lineup. Do we expect another good home start from Tim Lincecum against Atlanta?
I get a little bit nervous because he did give up 3 home runs in his previous start, where he had given up only 1 in the previous 47 and 2/3 innings.
Right, but it was on the road, I think, right?
Right, but even then, before that, when he had gone 47 and 2/3 innings, giving up just 1 home run, he was pitching well at home and on the road. So I get a little. You remember all along I said, let's ride Lincecum when he's hot, but he is probably going to level off. I would stay away from betting on it, Lincecum, and if anything, I think this might be an opportunity to start fading him. And we've seen that in the recent years where he's been streaky, where he's looked like the old Tim Lincecum, and then all of a sudden he hits a wall. And I think, if anything, it might be time to start fading this guy.
Okay, and then Michael Wacha, really consistent, really excellent all season long. The Dodgers, though, can have a dangerous lineup if someone's a little bit off. What to expect from Wacha here?
Wacha is actually 9-0, his team record. St. Louis has won all 9 of his starts this year. He's got a 2.42 ERA in April he had. Then he's been even better in May, 1.42 ERA in May. So might not be the all-time greatest situation for him, but at this point, I say just ride Wacha, because he's a heck of a pitcher. He's getting stronger, and he's obviously got a good team behind him.
Okay, and then a little bit of a tough one here. Jonathan Neese is going to be at home against Miami, and he's had 3 straight ugly starts, but of course, in general, we think of him as a pretty talented lefty. Is he likely to bounce back or struggle again? A 4th straight bad start from Neese. What do you think?
I would say probably good value here for Miami. Again, I was kind of looking for the Mets to maybe regress to the mean, and Neese and the Mets are maybe showing some signs of doing that. He's got an ERA of 9 over his last 3 starts and 16 innings pitched. Meanwhile, Tom Koehler, he's actually pitched pretty well. He's got a 2.08 ERA in the last 2. So I think you're going to have very good value on Miami. I would not be surprised. And again, I haven't made my final picks, obviously, but I would not be the least bit surprised if I wind up having a premium play on Miami in this situation. Okay,
then the last thing I want to get to is Erasmo Ramirez for Tampa Bay going at Baltimore. And Ramirez, not a terribly impressive major league pitcher in his career or this year. Baltimore, though, on paper, they look like they should have a productive lineup. They've been cold recently, though. What do you think? Do you think they explode against Ramirez?
He did, Ramirez finally at least lasted 6 innings in his last outing, but it was his longest start of the year. So I'm clearly not sold on him. And the fact that that's really the bar was set at simply pitching 6 innings. I look for him to get slapped around again. I really can't see betting on Ramirez. It's another one of those you either go against him or you pass or maybe bet the over.
Makes sense, Joe. That's it from Saturday, May 30th that I wanted to touch on and ask you about. What can you point us, what else do you want to bring up in terms of possible betting value for Saturday, May 30th?
Well, Minnesota, talk about an under-the-radar pitcher. Kyle Gibson, 1.88 ERA in his last 7 outings. We talked about the crafty veteran Aaron Harang continues to pitch very well. He's given up more than 3 runs just one of his first 10 starts. And the general belief is that he's auditioning. Of course, Philadelphia, they don't like to. They seem to hold on to their veterans a little too long. Ruben Amaro there, and whether or not they'll actually trade him remains to be seen. But Harang, I think, has plenty of motivation auditioning for a potential contender. And I guess that would probably. Reneus Elias, he's got a 2.56 ERA in his 6 starts, or Elias, I should say, is how he pronounces his name. So he's pitched pretty well as well.
So maybe we expect good starts from Kyle Gibson, Aaron Harang, and Elias. Joe Duffy from OffshoreInsiders.com. Thanks so much for your thoughts today.